Hello and welcome to the show. Now, trying to pick a specific car or specific moment as perhaps a highlight of Goodwood is very difficult because there is a lot of absolutely amazing vehicles and crazy things going on. So I'm going to have a look through all my various favourite bits, starting with the light car company Rocket. I've liked this car, well, since the days of PGR4, fantastically fun car to go racing in that game. It was nice to see one of them for the first time. Another car out on the lawn, the Di Tommaso Guara, I think is how it's pronounced. I'd never ever heard of this car before. I managed to stump most of you on the Guess the Car game by showing the interior. It's a mad, strange contraption. However, I kind of like it. It's a very 90s sports car slash supercar, and this particular one is very purple. They also had the classic Bullet Mustang. The actual Bullet Mustang was there, actually been driven up the hill as well. They also had the modern, sort of the special edition Mustang with the name Bullet. This particular vehicle is a very interesting one. This is a Jaguar XK140, I think, that is in barn fine condition. This is literally how they pulled the car out of a barn somewhere. I'm not quite sure what's gone on to cause the body. It very much looks like an art car of some description with a interesting patterns going on with the bodywork. Really interesting vehicle, and reading the little plaque thing at the front, this is going to be restored. We may well see it at Goodwood another year in its restored condition. I kind of, in a weird sort of way, kind of quite like it how it is. It's fascinating looking at all the patterns going on in that bodywork. Lego cars is always a quick way to get my attention. While there wasn't any car made out of tiny Lego bricks this year, as there have been in the past, instead we have a full-ish size Porsche. I believe kind of styled on... I think there is a little Speed Champions Porsche somewhere around that looks very similar. So this is just like a full-size, maybe even a little bit larger than full-size, to be honest. It does look a little bit like a frog from the front. I shall call you Kermit Porsche. And there we go. Anyway, big Lego cars, always something that I'm going to pay attention with. There are, as you could imagine, plenty of prototypes around, especially with it being 60 years of Lola, 75 years of Porsche sports cars. You put that together, and there are going to be lots and lots of amazing prototype cars. My personal favourite of the lot, this Nissan R90CK. I don't know very much about a lot of the prototype cars here. However, for whatever particular reason it was, I was very much drawn to this one. Also amazing to, a couple of the days they had just the entire back end off, and you could go and wander around and have a look at all of the little fine details of working of the engine. It doesn't sound too bad either when it's running. Now, as regular viewers will know, I am quite the fan of mad classic American race cars. This old yellow 2 Buick, reading the guide, apparently was built for £1,500, which is, I mean, it's an unusual shaped and an unusual looking thing, but yeah, it's really rather cool. Sadly, I never got to see it run. I never got to see it go up the hill climb. But it was a really cool vehicle, just to say. Again, car I'd never heard of that I very much liked. As I said earlier, Porsche were celebrating 75 years of sports cars, which means there was a lot. There was just about every single, or 70 years, sorry, every single Porsche you could imagine from the GT1 cars. You can't really go wrong with the GT1 cars. There were various LMP prototypes, 911 Cup cars, 911 RSR was there. Yeah, I do very much like the GT1 vehicles. There's always something special about the mad GT1 cars. The 550 Spider, winner of the Mighty Wing competition. I didn't actually realise at the time when filming that video until somebody informed me. This was actually the first car ever to have a wing fitted. It was the first vehicle to ever have a wing used kind of as an aerodynamic device. I mean, yeah, from today's cars it looks very strange having the wing in the middle. It's also a very big wing on a very small car. I was having a check see how the thing was all mounted in there. It's utterly balmy, but I love it. I really love it. And it's really cool seeing, I guess, the evolution of aerodynamics. Visibility would be probably a bit strange having this great table on top of you, but there we go. The Porsche 961, I've talked about this a little bit, especially yesterday. I've done a racing video on Project Cars with it. Very quickly became, and in fact it probably would have been my favourite car of the entire event if it hadn't been for one vehicle, which we will see a little bit later. There's something about this car with the Rotherham's livery, and it looks amazing. It's kind of a wide body 959, but it's an exquisite looking race car, all put together. And again, I don't think video films and whatnot do it real justice. You've got to really see it in person to fully appreciate just how amazing it is. Mad Mike was back again, this time with another, of course, rotary-powered machine. It confused me for a little while. This is an RX-7 with an RX-3 face, essentially. Took me a while to kind of wrap my head around it. Not a mighty wing on this one, there were on plenty of the other drift cars. It looks kind of cool and a little bit wrong. Either way, I like it. Either way, well, I'm not a massive fan of drifting and so on, but this is a hell of a cool car. Now, if you are going to talk about favourite cars, there is only going to be one winner. The Shelby Daytona. An actual, genuine Shelby Daytona was here. Now, admittedly, it was quite a pain for me to track down, as I think the first day it wasn't there, the second day I didn't realise it was there because undercover at the time I wandered around. It was, yeah, only I think it was quite late on Friday that I actually realised there was a Shelby Daytona here. However, yeah, and most of the time I went back to film it, it was either out or covered. But yeah, there is a genuine Daytona. That means I can now tick off all of my dream cars. I've seen all of my dream cars in person. And the Daytona did actually get driven pretty hard. There is a video. Sadly, I didn't see it to see the run. I only watched the video of Daytona being driven pretty damn hard up the hill climb course, doing a lot of burnouts and a lot of sliding around. And that's a $25 million car that they were going mad with. Also quite interesting. It was in an absolutely amazing group of cars. I've got plenty of footage of coming up next. However, quite entertaining on the Sunday morning, everyone needed to fill up with petrol, and there was this giant traffic jam for fuel as everyone was trying to get into the holding area. Not a bad place to be kind of stuck watching everything going on, though. while perhaps less so than previous years, not everything quite went to plan. Some cars sounded pretty poorly. This, not a nice sound to hear, although there were a lot less breakdowns and a lot less crashes than I have seen in previous years, although I did get a front row seat to an RS200 accident. Now, as you saw, the driver was perfectly okay, and the car, they even got that running the next day. It was a clip that held, they used the wrong clips on the back bodywork as it fell apart, or came undone when racing. The car was back running. It didn't run in the time shootout in the end, but it was going up the hill on the Sunday. That crash happening on the Saturday. Overall, I mean, trying to pick a favourite bit from the Festival of Speed is nigh on impossible, although for me, seeing an actual Shelby Daytona is going to have to be right up there. There was a huge amount of good stuff. Every year I go to this event and I try to film as much as I can, try to get everything I can. There's still more that I'd want to see. I was there for 4 days and still more that I want to see. Still more still more that I would have liked to have filmed, and again, every time I come back I want to get more and more fancy, expensive camera gear. Because, yeah, I've got some really, really good views. And of course, a massive thank you to the organisers for allowing me to get sort of media access, get into some of the different areas to be able to film the cars in different ways and different camera angles and whatnot. You could see some of the collection of Porsches. Of course, got to have another look around the 961 again. Yeah, I really enjoyed, and I would always recommend, if at all possible, for you to go to the Festival of Speed one year. It's an absolutely amazing event. That, though, is going to be it for this video. It is going to be it for kind of YouTube videos from the festival. I have got maybe various other bits and pieces of footage I can put together, so keep an eye out on Twitter. I will probably put up little snippets from other footage that I haven't used as of yet on there. However, that is going to be it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed these kind of vlogs, Festival of Speed videos. Until next time, goodbye.